Hi everybody! Sometime back I posted a photograph of my workspace and working a very late night with Solo's photograph right there. And a lot of people said that they wanted to see the workspace properly. So we decided why not make a video about it. So come on through, I'll come back here, but why don't we start over this side. So this is area where I do most of my work besides when I'm in the field. 300 days I'm traveling, so I get to spend only about 65 days here, on and off, sometimes more in the year, sometimes lesser in the year. But those 65 days have to be really productive. That's why I like to surround myself with things that are inspiring me. So this is a space that we've developed where it's all my photos, because these are the moments that are captured that look very, very beautiful and remind me of some of the most interesting things that I was doing. Here is a photograph of me from South Africa when I was filming a series. Here is a photograph of me on top of an area in Bandhavgarh. This is me driving in South Africa and tracking lions. This again a part of filming. This is where I actually was getting trained how to drive. That's why a lot of you might be wondering, how am I allowed to drive in Bandhavgarh? Well, I've been trained how to drive. I'm also a registered naturalist and driver in Bandhavgarh National Park, which allows me to do that. Also because that's my home. I spent 300 days there. This is during one of the sightings, which is absolutely favorite. That's 7D, and 7D is behind my head over there as well, which I'll just get to in a little bit. This is while filming season 1 of Safari with Suyash, and this is also in Africa where I filmed a program where they were relocating lions from a deficit area to an area where, or rather from a surplus area to a deficit area, trying to manage the population a little artificially, because over time, humans have decimated lion populations, and this relocation program was very necessary. I think this is also a nice place that we've developed where I can do a lot of live sessions, so maybe you guys will be seeing this in the live sessions. Over this side, we have 2 additional tables, desks, whatever you say. This was my old system where the virtual safaris were being edited, sometimes live. This is where season 1 was edited. Now one of the team members uses it, and then we were shooting some things earlier, so not all my cameras, but 2 of my main cameras are here. This is the Sony A1, this is the Sony A9, this is the 400mm f2.8 lens, which is my favorite lens, and there's the 200-600. A lot of you might be thinking that's very heavy, but no, it's actually pretty light. It's the lightest 400mm f2.8 ever made. As you see, I was throwing it up in the air over there as well. I like to read a lot, so this is a collection of some of my favorite books. I've stopped buying books now because I actually read all of them on a Kindle, but had I put all my books here, which are on the Kindle, this entire shelf would be filled, because I love reading. I'm one of those who likes to believe that the more knowledge I gain, the more knowledge I can impart, and the better I am at my work, at the field, or in life in general. So these are like the collection of books that are going to be helping me professionally and in life. This is some of the wildlife books. These are wildlife reference books. These are wildlife stories and books by people in the industry, and this is a little bit of a mix. Of course, I like to pray as well. And coming over to this side, before I go to my desk, most of you might already know about Solo, and this is my iconic photograph of Tigress Solo, and it really inspires me every time I'm working here and looking at her. It reminds me of a tigress that really fought for her survival. It teaches me a lot about love, about relationships, about never giving up. And honestly, whenever I talk about her, I get a little emotional. In case you haven't watched my series on Solo, we're gonna put the link down here so you can learn more about her and everything that this tigress taught me in life. Seeing this also serves as a reminder, seeing her rather serves as a reminder that there are still tigers out there that are struggling. There are habitats of tigers that's struggling, and all the work that we do is really having a positive impact. Right next to that is the Nature's Best Photography Asia, my first award when I won it in 2015. I was just 19 years old back then. I was the youngest person to have won that. And behind that is not behind, or right behind the cameraman is the 30 under 30 award, which I won, HD City 30 under 30, which was the most recent award I won, and it's probably one of my best moments in the past year. And now coming to my workspace, my desk. Behind me is our boy 7D. He is one of the tigers more recently that I've been following since he was just 3 months old. And again, it's very inspirational to have him behind me because, I don't know, there's just something about his character, his connection to Spotty, his connection to Bamera Sun and Chakradhara male that really inspires me every day, and I love seeing him, and I just love the regal pose he's sitting on. This was photographed on my birthday, January 24th in 2021, and with Tarni by my side. It was amazing. Sorry, 2022. My bad. 2021 was Bajrang. 2022. We spent 9.5 hours with 3 different tigers, him and 2 of his brothers. Okay, coming to my workspace. I'll take a seat. This is where all the admin work is done, you know. It's great that I spent 300 days in the field, but there's also a lot of admin work that needs to be done. There's accounts, there is social media, there's responding to a lot of emails, there's planning for future tours or experiences, doing our planning for conservation activities and conservation work, and so many other things. Of course, editing photos, editing videos. Earlier, as I said, I used to have that system, that was the iMac 2019. That was starting to crash whenever I opened Photoshop, Adobe Bridge, or even Premiere Pro. That's why I upgraded very recently to the Mac Mini with the M2 chip, and of course this Mac display. It's an expensive piece of equipment, but worth it for a professional like me. Some people might or might not need it. Of course, I have a trackpad, mouse, the nice keyboard. You might be wondering what this is. That's a water bottle, and I've been advised to keep hydrated because I suffered a little bit of dehydration in the field, and since then I just carry around a water like this, and I have it in me that I have to finish this bottle of water. Parth, who's on the camera right now, where he came in and saw this and he was like, is that how much coffee you've been drinking? And some days, you know, I feel like I could finish a coffee this large, but I'm sure that would be very detrimental to my health. I have these plants. They make me happy looking at them, and I like being father to these plants. Then on the back side, I have this really high-speed hard disk, which is 16 terabytes. That's 16,000 gigabytes. And then on this side, it's 8 terabytes. Of course, some stationery. And this is not something I gave to myself. I'm being called a wildlife hero by some people who have helped us in our efforts in my profession as well, and that is Akash and Nikita Mehta from Fable in Maine. They considered the stuff that I was doing with, they live in UK right now, but the Indians but live in UK, they considered that whatever I'm doing with wildlife, with education, with conservation, and they considered me to be a hero. So I just keep this next to me, and it just feels nice, of course, to be called a wildlife hero. So yeah, that's about it for my office tour. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a small space, but it's all that I need right here. And if you guys want to see more videos like this or anything of any topic, just write it in the comments below and we'll be happy to make it. One thing very exciting, I'll be sitting here and presenting a lot of videos to you guys, so stay tuned for that.